Hi, my name is VX. First of all, Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year to you all. So, I know that this video is 2 days late. It should have been uploaded yesterday. Still a day late because of poor time management on the 1st, but last night my audio decided to cut out during the middle of the recording for some reason. It did this weird stuttery thing in like the second half. I'm not sure why, but it is what it is. It's supposed to be uploaded on the 1st and 16th of every month, but this will hopefully be my one and only mulligan. But anyway, I hope this year is better than the last, but it will only be better if you put in the effort. In my eyes, 2026 is the year of movement and momentum. No luck, no BS, no procrastinating, no waiting for something to happen. You need to make it happen, and only you. If you fail at something, go at it again and again until you succeed. And with that being said, it's a good segue for today's talk. I want to talk today about inspiration and how it relates to music or anything creative, really. The dictionary definition of inspiration is the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. Inspiration can come from many different sources. It can come from good feelings like happiness or joy, or it could come from negative feelings like sorrow or heartbreak. Most of my music comes from a neutral place, though, not from any positive or negative emotions, just plain boredom, and that's what I think is missing nowadays. So in the age of technology, it's super easy to get caught up with your phone, your computer, or your TV, but there's something to be said about sitting around and doing nothing. If you're unemployed, it's going to be so much easier than somebody who works 9 to 5 or more because, of course, they have less time. Sometimes all they want to do is work, eat, sleep, and repeat. For me, though, even when I'm working, my mind sort of drifts away to other places. I have trouble with being online on social media or video games, and I know that I should do less of that, but it's kind of difficult for me sometimes as well, so I know I need to be more mindful of that. Look, I just made an entire album that took me years to make, so you gotta cut me some slack when I want to take some time off and be a bum. Play video games, pretty much. I'm a gamer, so sue me. But seriously, I have not been feeling very inspired to make any music lately. My life has had turbulence for sure, so it could be a reason that I'm not inspired at all, along with the fact that I just finished a very big project for myself to share with the world, but I don't think that should be stopping me from at least making some sort of music, anything. I primarily use FL Mobile on my phone when I'm on the go, and that's where I start most of my music ideas. Sometimes they're just a synth sound, or sometimes they're a full chorus, but that is usually where I start off a track, is in FL Mobile. When I'm home and all ready to sit down in front of my computer, I take that little idea from my phone and plop it into Ableton, and that's where my full productions come out to play. But even then, I haven't really been making much with FL Mobile, so you and I could use some help. When it comes to making music, I have a few tips to being and staying productive and to spark your inspiration to get that track started or even finished. So number 1, listen widely beyond your genre. Dive into music outside electronic styles like jazz, classical, rock, or any other genres of music. This exposes you to new rhythms, melodies, and structures that can refresh your ideas and prevent repetitive ruts. When you're stuck creating electronic music, and that's all you make, your sound palette is very rigid. You're going to be making stuff that sounds electronic, and while yes, that is kind of the point, you want to try and make electronic music feel more alive than what it is. I know for myself, I listen to many genres, not just electronic music. One of my go-tos recently has been ambient music, and I listen to a lot of that, especially when I'm driving, and I get to sort of drift off into outer space and kind of go on autopilot, but it does get me thinking of music in different ways. Jazz is another big one that I listen to pretty often. There's something about a saxophone that really tickles my brain in an interesting way and gets my creative juices flowing, and listening to other genres outside of just electronic music could do the same for you. Number 2, experiment with new sounds and tools. Try unfamiliar plugins, synths, or even recordings that you made yourself, like ambient noises. No, I'm not saying to go and spend your entire paycheck on the latest and greatest compressors, EQs, reverbs, or synths, but every DAW comes with stock plugins. I'm positive, almost 100% positive, that there's going to be something that you haven't used. I know I haven't used every single stock plugin that Ableton came with, or got updated with for that matter. And on top of that, there are so many free plugins to use and to try, including synths. So I know that there's something new for me to use at all times. I'm not stuck with anything ever. Number 3, take breaks and change your environment. Step away from the studio. Go out for a walk, exercise, or produce in a new spot like a park or a cafe. This clears mental blocks and lets subconscious ideas emerge. There are a plethora of phone apps to use for iOS and Android alike that allow you to take music on the go. There's miniature DAWs like the one I use, like I said, FL Mobile, but then there's free and paid synths and samplers that you can use to start creating. So go to your local Starbucks, sit there with some nice headphones, and create music on the go. Number 4, impose restrictions or challenges. Set rules like make a track in under an hour, don't use drums, or start with a different tempo or key than you usually do. Constraints can be extremely useful. If you're just starting out, you're not going to have a lot of plugins, let's face it. You might have a few effects or synths, but that's going to be the majority of what you have. You're not going to have much to use, so that definitely helps with this, but as you progress into your music career and you start gaining knowledge of how all these different tools work together, you're going to inevitably collect more plugins, The more plugins that you have, the more difficult things may seem when it comes to making a decision of what tool to use when it comes to starting off a project. For me, though, even though I've been making music for many, many years, I don't really have that many tools. In my last video, you could see on my left side of Ableton, the library, that I don't have millions of plugins. I have all the Ableton Live suite version of tools, so it does come with a whole bunch of synths and stuff like that to use, but I'm not going out to buy every single plugin or instrument that I see, especially since I mostly use Pigments for every synth sound that I make. Pigments and Kick. So setting your limits to only using a certain number of instruments or effects, or time limits, or various other challenges breeds creativity. So last but not least, number 5. Start without waiting for inspiration. I think this is one of the most powerful things that a person can do. Don't wait for a perfect idea. Open your DAW and begin anyway. Make a simple loop, tweak a preset, or record a random melody with an instrument that you have laying around, or even hum something. It doesn't matter. Action sparks flow. Sometimes you have to just sit around and be bored. That's it. It's really that simple, to be honest. In our hyper-stimulated world, we're constantly bombarded with distractions. Social media, scrolling, endless playlists, notifications, but true creativity emerges from those quiet, uncomfortable moments of emptiness, where your mind isn't force-fed ideas, but left to wander and connect the dots on its own. Resist that urge to fill the void immediately. Instead, stare at your blank project, fiddle aimlessly with a knob or two, let the silence stretch until something, a subtle rhythm in your head, an unexpected harmony, or even frustration, bubbles up and demands expression. This boredom is not laziness. It's fertile ground, a reset that clears out the noise and allows your subconscious to brew original sparks that no algorithm or trend can replicate. Over time, embracing these sessions trains your brain to enter that elusive flow state more reliably, turning potential blocks into breakthroughs and reminding you why you fell in love with making music in the first place. The raw, unpredictable magic of creation born from simply showing up and allowing yourself to just be. So, if you've made it to the very end, I appreciate you for sticking around, and I hope you learned something useful today. My name is VX, and I hope to see you very soon.